What's good? What's good? What's good? Back again at it. Stadium Whispers. I'm Travis. What's good? We got Vaughn.
Hey, yo, what's up? What's up?
Ivan, Bree.
That version of me, Bree. Like, nah, people, I miss y'all.
We got Ivan with his LT earrings in the night. Shout out to him.
Oh,
it's another lovely day in the neighborhood. Let's get to it, though. NBA playoffs. How we feeling today? How we feeling about these playoffs this last week since we last caught up?
I think it's kinky that almost every series is tied 2-2. I like that. Besides it sucks that Ja went down, but I think they were going to lose anyway. They weren't going to win that many games anyway. I thought they were going to lose in 5 anyway. So anybody think any different than that?
No, I didn't.
I mean, no.
I thought it would be like I would. Ja, I thought they would push him. I thought they had a good chance to push him to 7 games. I'm not gonna lie to you.
7?
Yeah, I thought they would. I thought they had a good chance to push him to 7 games. I thought the Grizzlies was just like they're just like a group team. I thought they just played with like a lot of togetherness, and they played for their brother on the court. I just
I mean,
they were like talented.
I agree with you.
I just felt like their team was enough to go. But go ahead.
No, I had Golden State in 6. So this is right up where it should be.
Interesting. I thought she had them in 5. Before the series started, I thought it was going to be a sweep. But then obviously after the Grizzlies won a game, I said 5. Even if I think with Ja, I was still going to go 5. Because you think about the game that they won, the Grizzlies won. They needed Ja to go freaking crazy, and they needed Steph and Klay they were so cold. So I didn't see that happening that many more times. So I thought it was going to be in 5.
I mean, they barely escaped. They barely escaped last night without. I mean, granted, they're a better defensive team without Ja being there, though. So, and not to mention Klay, and Klay had a horrible. Well, Klay's been struggling this series anyway, but they had a bad shooting night, and Steph had a bad shooting night up until the 4th, which he started to come alive.
They took the lead until the last minute or so.
That's what I'm saying. And Memphis, they did horribly down the last few possessions, which really cost them the game, honestly.
You need a job like that. What you talking about, Bree? Oh, what you fist pumping for? What you fist pumping?
The Mystics. It's the Mystics game, of course.
Dally boy, she looks good out there. I just can't contain my excitement.
It's about time she missed 5 years.
Don't worry about it.
They ain't winning the ring again, so don't really matter.
Anyway, what? Don't come on. Ja's out.
Yeah, when my missed all them years, you didn't respect her.
Talking about. That's what we need to be talking about. The controversy. That man really pulled that man's knee. It was uncalled for.
I don't. That wasn't.
It wasn't on purpose. It wasn't on purpose.
No, I mean, you what? I didn't say it was intentional. Let go of it though. You grabbed and yanked. You felt that was not a ball. I don't know what you pause. What are you doing? Why are you still pulling it? You know what I'm saying? Think about it like that. Think about it like that. Like if you
didn't pull it like this,
would you have pulled the nutsack? No, it was his knee, and you still yanked back on it. No, I don't want to hear it. That was uncalled for, man. It's uncalled for.
Were they
happen in sports? I just think
they losing by 20? Were they losing by 20?
Oh, I'm not concerned about the score, and I'm not saying that would have saved them. I think the Grizzlies snuck in a game and won that one game. I don't think it would have went much further than that. I don't. I think they're a good team, and I think they played really well together. And but you're playing against a great team that has been playing well together. It just it's not comparable. So, I just feel like I'm gonna say something because that man didn't have to do that to that boy.
I mean, both sides was really doing stuff to one another. It's funny how both teams try to play the victim, but both sides, right? It's playoff basketball. That's how it should be. Honestly, what's really ridiculous? To be honest, these referees call these texts. These texts get ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Like Al Horford, why he get why? Just why?
Whoa.
Oh, there he is.
Hey,
But did y'all think Al Horford deserved a tech? Did Giannis deserve a tech for just staring at Al Horford after he dunked on him? Like, no. This is stupid.
It's crazy because it's been a very physical playoff so far, but at the same time, they want to call ticky tack stuff like that, which kills me. Like you can have it both ways. Like we have physical.
I feel like y'all got WNBA refs out there.
It's crazy. Like what?
It's dumb. You can't stare at nobody now. Why? Why is that a problem?
You can't in the WNBA. You used to be able to in the NBA. I don't know what basketball is coming to. You need to be. That's bullying. It's taunting. It's this. Is that. I mean, they're cracking down on it in every level. I mean, in every sport. And we're not here for it. The fans aren't here for it. We like that ticky-tack stuff. We enjoy it. It gets everything a little bit more feisty. I think if you keep people coped, that's where you get like a nonchalant game like Giannis put up. You just take away the edge. Like you're not giving them no grit to really go after.
Coped? You said keep them coped and take away the edge?
That is not what I said.
What did you say?
That's what I thought I heard too.
That's what I said. What?
Like cope aesthetic. Like
oh, okay.
Okay, so somebody got their minds on some.
Yeah, wow, guys.
Wow. Someone got their mind on some sniff. It's okay.
I'm a bit immature. That's not anything new.
Yes, you are immature. You need to grow up.
That don't feel like that.
Like me.
I've heard that on TV before. I need something to take the edge off. I like you've never heard that.
You need to grow up.
Shane, you just got here. Don't get here talking crazy.
Yeah, Shane, you're late, sir. So you wait until you're called.
Shane got a little goofy smile on his face. What you smiling about?
Yeah, what are you cheesing?
What you happy about?
Nothing. I'm good. You know, on this Tuesday, Stadium Whispers.
Shane just got some cutty.
Dak on the way, baby. Dak on the way.
Baby Shane O'Mac.
Or he probably took those 75 milligrams that Shannon Sharp be taking.
Yeah, a little.
Remember that? Remember that?
Gummies.
He was like, he said, see this 75 milligrams of not falling with your bull jive.
Yeah,
this man said,
yeah. All right, Shane, what's up, message? You looking down? He mad.
Oh man.
Come on, Shane. Wait, no, we missed you.
You said. I say just left Pup Dog, ain't it?
Nah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Hey, yo. All right. So,
Warriors in 5.
But I thought we were talking about the Celtics, though.
No, he was just talking about about how the NBA.
No, I was talking about like how ridiculous these texts have been in the playoffs.
I mean, Doc just got a tech from with the whole thing with Embiid. Did you guys see that?
No, I'm watching the Mystics game.
We were actually on time for the show.
Yeah, I actually have my undivided attention to you guys. I don't like multitask when I'm doing this, so I couldn't tell you.
No, it happened before the show. But basically,
we actually joined the meet 2 hours before the show. You know how you got to show up to the gym 5 hours for the game. You meet at 6. So
anyway, Embiid got hit in the face. Looked like he got hit in the face with basketball, whatever, due to somebody else hitting the ball in his face, and then Doc got mad, and they teed him up immediately, pretty much.
Tee him up, Doc.
Ooh.
Tee him up,
Really?
Ref. What's the score? Halftime, and the Sixers are up by 12.
They matter to Rio in here now, so we're gonna find out.
Oh my!
Live on location. We got Rio and just in the top of halftime of the Sixers game. Give us a quick review, please.
Ask and you shall receive. I appreciate that. You summon me like the boogeyman. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
Do you summon the boogeyman?
Hey, I must be. You know
He's old. He probably can't. You know, Rio's old. That's probably what they used to do back in the 80s.
No, the boogeyman did the same thing. Boogeyman come out too. You know what I'm saying? You can get summoned.
We're not calling you the boogeyman. We're not doing that. We're not going to call you the boogeyman. I'm just letting you know that.
I'm gonna have to do some research on that, people. I don't think you summon the boogeyman. I think
that's Candyman. You summon Candyman.
Candyman.
It's Candyman. Bloody Mary.
Shout out Max Strus.
I mean, are we shouting out Beetlejuice too? Like,
shout out Max Strus. By the way,
tomato.
Shout out Max Strus. You know
who?
Yeah, Max Strus is shooting the lights out right now. I mean, he has to shoot the lights out because for the last couple games in Philly, he hasn't been shooting pretty well at all. From last time I checked, I think they shot 14 for like 65 or something like that the last 2 games in Philly. So it's about time for
They've
Max
been
Strus
horrible.
to show up. And yeah, pretty much. I mean, to be honest with you, this is a home team competition at this point. Every team that's played at home so far has played well, and on the road they've looked like crap. Just like right now, Philly looks like crap. We look flat. We're not passing the ball. They're fronting us. Everything Joel Embiid brags about being able to break a double team, they're doing to him. I personally like the fact that sometimes they rush him, sometimes they wait till he gets that dribble in, and then they rush him to give him different looks. But Joel Embiid, the last series and for the last 50 games or so, bragged about his development in handling the double team. So I know he's got the face injury and everything else, but I want to see that you still have that development. You still have your IQ. Your IQ didn't go anywhere. So, you know, it's a little bit disappointing. They're flat, but they got to come out and play harder, man. They got to play with some real effort. They just look like
Tobias
trash.
Harris got some shots, man, from what I've been seeing.
Yeah, Tobias is a big deal, man. I think people are you know, the money we spent on Tobias, I would say for this playoffs, I think he's showed up to be everything that we're spending money on. He's defensively been our most consistent and best player defensively, probably the whole entire playoff so far. I give him a lot of credit for what he did in the first series and even going into this one. He's been physical. Even when he gets his possessions, he knows when he has a smaller defender on him, he takes him down to the rack and gets an easy bucket. He's now catching and shooting when James gets him the ball, when he goes that penetration kick out. I mean, he looks like a more comfortable player. So I'm actually really happy what I've seen from Tobias. Maxey, of course, just giving me what he can when he does it. But Maxey, he can be more consistent. Now that we've seen it, I think the playoffs are a great litmus test in allowing him to develop. But now that we've seen his ability to handle those things, I want to see him still continue to grow and Doc continue to coach him because he's a coach's son and he really acts like it. He absorbs it like a sponge. I just want to see more of that. So yeah, we don't look great today, but I still have faith. We're not a bad team, and we're still only down by 10. So
you think you're going to win today, or you think it's going to be Philly in 7?
In my opinion, we have to win today. You know, I from what I'm seeing so far, I mean, it doesn't look that great, but we have to win today in order to go back with our heads held high and go and close it out at home. As I said, this is the home teams. All the home teams are killing. All the home teams, right? In this series, the home teams are winning. So I don't want to go back to Miami for Game 7, but that's also why you play for the regular season to get home court advantage. So, hey, they deserve it. They earned it. We just got to make sure we do our part. This is where the series starts. This is where it starts.
So pretty much, it's going to boil down to who can win on the road.
Of course, this is when the playoff starts. It don't matter the first 2 games. You get your games at home, and they get their games at home. You handle your business. That's great. This is when the playoffs start. Can you get one on the road? And unfortunately for us, we have to get one on the road, and they don't. They can get them all at home. They got the best of the 7. They got 4 at home. It is what it is. So we got to show up. But if we're going to be a championship team, we're going to have to win some games on the road regardless. We can't be a home team only. So this is par for the course. They got to win.
So while we're on the topic of the Sixers, let's just get down to the reports of Joel Embiid coming up short to Jokic.
I was about to say, he's talking about passing out of double teams. You know who can pass really well out of double teams?
No, let's slow walk him.
Al Horford.
Let's slow walk him into this.
As soon as I seen he had to take a sip of that twisted tea, I was like, here we go.
Let's slow walk him into this. We're gonna take it slow, just a little Marvin Gaye, some Luther Vandross. We're gonna take it slower tonight.
A little Anita.
You gonna serenade us?
So reportedly, there's even talk of that he became 3rd in the MVP voting behind one Giannis Antetokounmpo and Nikola Jokic. So how do you feel about that? Because I know you had like a lot of big aspirations for Joel Embiid and the 76ers before the season. So let's hear you elaborate on that a little bit.
I've been consistent, man. I think Joel Embiid is the MVP of this league. I think he proved that he was the MVP of this league. I think he got robbed last year of the MVP strictly because of games. And it was well documented and it's said across the board, a lot of people, and don't make that face. Joel Embiid, the only issue he had was he didn't play enough games. He got hurt towards the end of the season. This year, if you look at the MVP again, same guy, same situation. You have a guy like Embiid who is a defensive player of the year and a first team, if not second team, all defensive caliber player playing defense, right? Then you have a guy who's also a first team, all offensive team caliber player, leading, doing everything he can, and somehow he finishes third. Giannis, I get, he's a two-way player as well. Jokic, I don't personally understand. I get the offensive accolades. He's a stat stuffer, in my opinion. I think it's good for him to have to play the way he has to. He had nobody on his team once Michael Porter Jr. got hurt, and then Jamal Murray wasn't playing the entire year, right? He has nobody besides Aaron Gordon, really, and Aaron Gordon is not a second player. He has to stat stuff, and he has to play and has the ball in his hands and make every play in order for his team to even contend. If we're going to do that in those favors, Tracy McGrady would have had it back, and I can't remember, 03 or something like that when Tim Duncan won it over him. So it's not always about a guy being a stat stuffer having to take a bad team to the playoffs. You want to see the best player on the best team, which has always been the curriculum, right? This is how we've always followed it, but this year it's different. Come on, man. What team was worse than Denver in the playoffs this year?
They were literally 2 games worse than you guys. Like, you guys only had 2 more wins.
No. But they're in the West.
But still,
they're
like,
not competing in the East. The East was full of Kevin Durant, Giannis, Jimmy Butler, LaMelo. Look, the East was stacked this year. Not only that, but DeMar DeRozan. So even out of, if you look at, right,
who couldn't beat good teams?
Are we hating on DeMar DeRozan now?
The Bulls didn't beat good teams all year.
I'm hating on the fact that the West is nothing. They won 6 games, and we were a better team than them, and we played in the East the whole year. Don't give me the two to compare because they don't compare. And Joel Embiid had to do it by himself for 3/4 of the year too, and he still was a better player than him offensively and defensively. When you talk MVP, you talk both sides of the basketball, not offense. That's my issue.
No. I got this one.
So one-sided competition.
One-sided. I got this one. So I knew you were going to say he did this by himself, right? But that's literally impossible to say when you got somebody making $40 million next to you and you got somebody literally getting you 20 points a game down the line from you. So when did he do this by himself? Because all before the season started, you raved about how this could be a championship team even without Ben Simmons. How you could make deep playoff runs even without Ben Simmons. So according to me, in my estimation of the MVP, of what you laid out for me and the plans you laid out for your team and how the season ran out and how the season ran out, Joel Embiid fell short of expectations by your standards in the regular season. And the Sixers fell short of expectations by your standards in the regular season. Because you expected him to be a top 3 seed regardless of Ben Simmons, or you guys made a trade without Ben Simmons. And you said Ben Simmons is going to see what's going on and how this team is going to be a great playoff team and how we're going to do this, that, and the other, and he's going to come back to the team. Because you said the team would be in such high regard by the All-Star break and by whatever. But you weren't in such high regard. You were fluttering at the All-Star break, and people were asking what you were doing. Nobody was asking how you were excelling. There were points in the season that people literally asked, what is wrong with the 76ers? And then after you got James Harden, you guys did not improve. You stayed the same. So that also hurts Joel Embiid's MVP case. Because he got the star that he needed. He got the guard that he needed to handle the ball, get him to pick a roll, and do this, that, and the other. But the team still didn't excel. You guys got worse down the stretch. So let's
address that. So the first thing is because you have an asterisk.
How's that compared to a Jokic who was literally doing 17 Tebow all year long, even down to the number 15? He was literally doing it like Tebow at Florida all year long for his team. Compared, and you're going to sit here, you had the nerve to sit up here and talk about how Joel.
You said Tebow had nobody in Florida?
How he was robbed from MVP when in fact that his team fell below expectations of his sort, of the coach's sort, because you guys are supposed to be so good without Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons is going to see exactly what was missing. And he did.
First and foremost, the Tebow analogy is terrible. It doesn't match up to this at all. Tebow played with Aaron Hernandez and a lot of other. I mean, did we forget about Percy Harvin and those guys? There's a lot of talent that he played with. This is not even remotely the same thing.
Continue on, though. Thanks.
They're not the same thing at all. Not the same thing.
Welcome to my TED Talk. Welcome to my team talk.
That's fine. You can talk over. It doesn't matter. So as I was saying, in the beginning, as you said at the All-Star break, you addressed this. You said the All-Star break we were playing bad. Joel Embiid was injured. He didn't play the last 3 weeks and leading into that, but he still is a starter. Not only that, but the team, let me finish. The team was struggling while he was out. We're talking about Maxey, Shake. We're talking about Andre Drummond at the time. Those guys, Tobias Harris, these are the guys leading the floor by themselves with no Embiid for 3 weeks. I expect the record to not look fantastic going into the All-Star break. So I don't want to hear about the All-Star break part of it. He's injured. I mean, it is what it is. Going out of that, but that doesn't. What you were saying is it just doesn't make sense. You got to make sure you acknowledge that. But you're making it a part of. But you're making it a part of his campaign, and he wasn't there. That doesn't hurt him. That doesn't hurt him because when he was on the floor, they were the number 1 seed. You're not going to talk about that part. You're not going to talk about the fact he was the number 1 seed when he was on the floor. When he got hurt, they dropped down to the 5th seed. That is a major difference, but you don't want to acknowledge that part, but it's okay. Going into it, you're looking at, like I said, we watched Jokic the entire year, right? Stat stuff, bro. He had 3 games where I could really be like versus a big-time competitor where I was like, yo, he was dominant versus that big-time competitor. One, which I will give him, was against Joel Embiid because I'm not a hater. I don't think he's trash. I just think that he's not as good on both sides of the ball. You talk about MVP for a season. I can't give him that based on 3 games that I saw that he looked pretty good. The other game was versus the Lakers. The Lakers, yes, they're playing against LeBron, and him and Bron went off. That was probably his most competitive game I've seen. But let's be real, the Lakers aren't they didn't even make the play-in. So I can't give him that. In the last game that I saw him look really phenomenal in, where I was like, yo, he looked dominant, like dominant. The Nets. He looked good with the Nets. I can't lie. He looked great against the Nets. He looked great. That one I give him. That's the one I give him. He earned them too. He earned that. But outside of that, this whole year, man, he was stat stuffing, bro. When you have to have the ball in your hand all the time, and you're a good player, he's going to do that, bro. He's a stat stuffer.
What was Embiid doing? It wasn't Embiid not trying to stat stuff. All of a sudden, Embiid's a point center. He try to stat stuff. All of a sudden, he's bringing the rock up the court. He's not.
You don't get to talk about that yet. You told me that he wasn't even able to bring the ball up the court. How are you qualified to talk about the style of play and the fact that he's a point center? You've told me several times that he don't bring the ball up the court. You don't even watch the games. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Get out of it.
You told me that Embiid games. All of a sudden, Embiid's bringing the ball up the court because he wants to be like a Jokic.
You know what you're talking about. You have no idea.
You better just worry about getting out of the series.
You have no idea what you're talking about. And it's sad because if I got into a conversation about guarding pick and rolls and talking about how to actually play a drop down possession, or even why you choose zones or play zones in today's basketball as opposed to playing it in the 90s style, you couldn't have a conversation with me about it. So don't tell me about that.
I just want to know how
Jokic is a stat stuffer. He's a talented player, but he is not a both sides of the ball player. There's no one who can tell me that defensively and offensively he stacks up to play as good and as quality of a caliber player as Joel Embiid, who's contending for Defensive Player of the Year and scoring champ every year for the last 5 years at least. You can't tell me that he's better than him on both sides of the basketball. And that's where you miss me. That's where you miss me.
He literally loses I don't want to hear to Rudy Gobert every year. He can't be that great of a defender. Sorry. He literally lost to DeMarcus Smart again this year.
Rudy has one job.
Again, these are niggas that they're literally giving to Rudy Gobert because they have nobody else to give it to.
Joel can do that and score 40. Because he can score 40, they overlook him.
And they gave it to an old-ass Draymond.
Joel's not going to get MVP until he can stop looking like ass by the end of the season. Hurt or not. He guns for it all the beginning of the season.
You vote for the you vote when the season ends. That doesn't matter. You vote when the season ends. That don't matter. And Jokic isn't playing, so don't give me that.
I have a question.
Jokic is not still playing. I don't want to hear that.
I have a question.
Jokic is not
By
playing.
the end of it, he's gassed.
I have a question.
He should at least be in the second round if he's.
I have a question.
You have an MVP that can't get to the second round. He's not.
I have a question.
They played
I have a question. I have a question. I have a question.
first round's always a gimme for MVP. I don't want to.
I have
No,
a
it's
question.
Not when you're the 6th seed and you're playing the Warriors. Stop.
I
If
have
you're
a question.
an MVP,
Warriors would've
the first
smoked y'all.
round, you're
I
not
have
going
a-
to
I have
make
a-
the first
easy.
round. I'm
I
not
have a
saying
question.
the conference
First
finals.
round,
I'm
If
saying the
y'all played
first
the
round.
Warriors first
I have
round,
a- I-
round
I-
one, the Warriors would have
And he
smoked
didn't
y'all
get but
back.
one game.
Clay would have been
I have a
smoking
question.
y'all
Not
back.
one game.
Clay and Rocco would have been rolling y'all
MVP?
over
Has
at
a
halftime.
question.
I have a
If y'all
question.
played the Warriors round one.
MVP.
Cut that out, bro. And you know better than that.
I have a
He got
question.
one game, and they were the worst team in the playoffs.
I have a question.
MVP? Come
Go ahead,
on.
guys.
Come on. He's just not.
First
that
and foremost, I just wanted to say on the record, Jokic did deserve MVP. If Joel would have won it, I think he deserved an MVP. Or if Giannis would have won it, they deserve MVP. Like you can make 3 different
Giannis,
arguments
yeah.
for all 3 of those guys.
I'm cool with
So that's neither here nor there. My question is, like, does anyone else be confused on what the requirements for MVP is? I feel like it switches year to year. Like it's either okay. Does a guy
Why
who
would it
took,
be one blue? Why would it be one black and white outline that what can make you an MVP of an ever changing basketball league?
I mean, I get it, but I feel like it's confusing. Like this
That
has
It
nothing.
should be. It
You know
should
why?
be.
is the best thing I've
Complex
ever
things
seen
going
in the
on.
rest of basketball, the MVP race in NBA basketball.
So to you, what's the MVP to like everyone? Like, what do you think your qualification of MVP is?
Jokic.
Everybody say it.
Huh?
Not at
Go
the same time.
Start with yours, Ivan.
No, how you gonna ask you a question? You gonna
I mean,
ask me
asked
back?
you. He asked you.
No, I mean, this is just for anybody.
I'm just thinking
This is
smart.
for no, this is just for anyone. Like, what do you like? What did you think the qualification of MVP is?
I usually, in my mind, it usually goes down. It usually is the best player on the best team. That's how it always been the whole time we grew up, except for a few occasions where it's like a phenomenal player. You know what I mean? And sometimes you couldn't give it to a best player on the best team this year, so you had to give it to a phenomenal player. And I felt like that phenomenal player in the most extenuating circumstances was Nikola Jokic. It's not that Embiid didn't play at MVP level. I just think that with Nikola Jokic brung, he had to bring every night. There was nobody there to back him up every night. He didn't have a Maxey to get me 31 night. He didn't have a Tobias Harris to remember he signed a max contract to get me this and that and the other. He didn't have a Doc Rivers roaming the sideline that has championship experience. It was him and Mike Malone every night for 82 games, 73. If you want to,
I'm listening to you disrespect Maxey so much, and then I listen to you disrespect Tobias, and now you want to bring him up. Wait, you can't do both, yeah.
I'm honest about what the players are.
But you can't do both. I'm not going to trash one day, and now you're telling me
I'm not going to bank on a first time. I'm not going to bank on a first time playoff performance to get me 38 points in the playoffs and talk about, oh my God, look at Maxey. This is what he does in the playoffs. He's the first time playoff performer. I'm not going to bank on him to be 40 every night in the playoffs. You're banking on that fact. You're literally banking on that fact. You're also banking on the fact that Tobias Harris remembers that.
I can say that. I believe in my guy. You don't.
No.
Saying.
It's a difference between believing in what a player can do and banking on what that player is going to give you night in and night out. There's a difference in that, and everybody here can attest to the difference in that. Everybody
here
just
told me how great they are. And now you tell me they're not.
He's not a verified playoff performer.
I don't know.
He's a potentially verified playoff performer. He had a couple good playoff games, but he's not verified. He's not stacked in the league. Don't act like don't walk around here talking about Tyrese Maxey like he's a locked in playoff verified 38 point per game bucket. So don't do that because
I didn't say that. But you're implying
that's how you're acting.
That he's a quality team.
But that's how you act. And then when I get into your body, you're
because I believe in my guy. I think that he's a quality caliber player who can contribute. And being young is not a hurtful thing when you have talented, smart, older players around you.
Act like Maxey didn't come and catch y'all games down the stretch when y'all needed him to, because y'all needed him to. That's what happened. That's how he got. And he was so good this season.
What's wrong with that? He's a great young player. You complaining about Jordan Poole? What are you talking about right now?
Don't rely on him. I think that's all. Yeah.
My only issue is that you tell me that they're not good enough, but then you're using them as a chip to be able to say that because they have these good pieces that they should be doing better. But you tell me how inconsistent and they're not good.
We can get subtitles.
So don't do that.
So
don't tell me about how I feel about Tyrese Maxey. Vaughn could attest to that fact.
But I'm regurgitating what you say.
How do we get back to this?
Exactly as you said.
How do we get back to this?
I tried to give you this.
How do we get back?
Tell me.
How do we get back?
You're not gonna sit there and tell me that I don't think Tyrese Maxey.
Get back.
I know Tyrese Maxey is doing the basketball.
We gotta start producing this shit because I'm
Hey, yo.
like,
How do we get back here?
Pull up clips of the things
How do we
that
get
you
back
say,
here?
and then how you come back and you try to basically flip and say, man, you contradict yourself every single week when we talk this shit. You have to be consistent, my guy.
It's fine.
Well,
I'm
I talk about off the
Let
question.
me say
I talk
something real
about
quick.
off the question I asked.
Let me say
You went
something real
back-
quick. So I will say that you can think that Tobias Harris is overrated and still think that he's better than what Jokic has. You can still think that Tyrese
That's what I was
Maxey
saying,
is
Bree.
inconsistent and still think he's better than what Jokic has. That's what I think. That's what I think.
It's not hard to see, but he's trying to have it his way. He's trying to have it his way only. It's not hard to see what talented basketball players are and what talented basketball players aren't. The reason why I'm so hard on Tobias Harris is because Tobias Harris was once a 20-point per game scorer in the NBA. So then once you go down from being a 20-point per game scorer, and then you get a James Harden and a Joel Embiid in front of you, and then those people draw the attention from you, and you get a 4th-5th defender, you should eat in the playoffs where your team needs you to eat. And he does not do that on a consistent basis. No, he does not. Because if he did, the Sixers would have been into the finals, maybe even more. But since he's been there, but y'all have not. So don't sit up here and tell me what I know and what I don't know, because that's not the fact. And you can't sit up here and say that you're going to sit here and say that consistently since he signed for 6 years, 180, Tobias Harris has been that player that y'all signed him to be. Go ahead and tell me that.
All right, so what I'm doing is I'm looking up.
Go ahead and tell me that. Go ahead and tell me Tobias Harris is the same Tobias Harris y'all traded all y'all picks for.
Highest. I mean, I can't get to tell you. You want to?
Tobias Harris is a 20-point per game scorer. He's very inconsistent in the role he's in, and you're not going to tell me otherwise. Wow. And nobody here is going to sit here and agree with you and tell you that fact. So,
I don't know. I'm waiting, because if every time I start, you start.
Because this is what you do. When I say something about numbers, you'll say, "Oh, well, we're talking about numbers now." But then you're gonna bring up the numbers to try to benefit your argument. And what you clearly see in the eye test that you don't need numbers to benefit.
Because you guys would take numbers and just be like, "Oh man, look at all the numbers! Look at all the numbers!" And I'm like, "Are you watching them play?" And this is where me, as a basketball purist who watches, and I told you, I'll watch all 82 games in a regular season, just like I watched the Bulls. And I was telling y'all in the beginning of the season, wow, the Bulls are actually really good, and they finished top 5. Which I'm telling you right now, I gave you the Bulls, I gave you the Lakers. I told you that before the season started. I gave you where we were going to be. I told you where the Nets were going to be. How many times do I have you right before you guys realize, like, yo, I watched the game? And if you're always looking at numbers, you don't realize what really happens in the game. People who look at Nikola Jokic look at his numbers. Nobody watches games in Denver. How many times you be like, yo, the Denver game on? Nobody's watching it, bro.
Oh, you're a basketball purist, but you don't watch the Nuggets.
I watched them. I'm telling you that I watched them. And that's the point I'm making, is that I watch them and I see the difference. Because I can see the type of player that Jokic is and go, he's a really good player. But I'm not going to look at him and be like, I would take him over Embiid. Absolutely not. The athlete, the caliber of the player, defensively and offensively on the floor, as I've stated several times, is completely different. Not only that, I'll get a guy who will run the floor, hit you from 3, run up, man. It's different, bro. It is different. The only thing Jokic has over Embiid is IQ, because his IQ is a little bit higher, and he's used to passing the ball. But other than that, Embiid is growing into that, and he's still more than what Jokic is. Come on, bro. They're different. They're different. The only thing he has better than him is passing. That's it. All he does is pass.
He cannot pull it from 3 like Jokic. So
Can we?
The way
Embiid can't hit from 3 like Jokic. This is why I can't talk to you, bro. This is why we can't talk.
It's crazy. And
this is why we can't talk. He's not doing it. We can't talk. He's not doing it.
You just say.
I think we need to. I think we need to move on after what I just heard.
I think we should too, man. We can't do this.
No. We need to move on. We need to move on. We need to move on. We need to move on.
Let's just end this conversation at this. Rio,
say it again, Bree.
Embiid in with MVP.
We need to move on
because his team flirt down the stretch.
Bree, what did you say?
I wouldn't be mad if any of those three won MVP. Honestly,
I wouldn't be mad either. But I'm
I wouldn't
happy,
be mad at any of the
happy
three.
Embiid didn't.
He's more what?
Yes,
He
he
More of a
did.
player.
That's
Yes,
what I'm saying. He said he was more
I
than
don't know.
he's growing into that. And he's more than
He's
Yeah,
feeling
yeah,
like that
yeah.
all year because the
It was a
Lakers
big
were
pause
terrible.
moment.
He was
It was
so
a big
happy
pause
about LeBron.
moment.
He was happy about Russ, and Russ was so
It was a
Bro,
big
like
pause
LeBron
moment.
gave Embiid the scoring
and he has
title,
nothing to
and
go
you
off
over
of but
here
to
bragging
hate.
about it.
I love it, bro.
Get out
Keep
my
the
face,
hate going.
man.
This is why this
Get out
shit
of
is so
here, bro. You
entertaining.
got gifted a scoring
Hate
title,
me.
and you over here
Hate
bragging about it.
Bro, hate. You're so good at that shit. Hate.
I'm not hating on nothing. I like
You
Embiid.
do.
I
You
just don't
always
like that
hate.
you
You're
like
mad
Embiid.
because
So that
y'all
makes me
niggas
mad. So
suck,
that makes me
and
just
now
go
y'all
ahead
want us to
and
be
All
bad.
right, let's talk about
Can't be
let's
misery
talk
loves
about
company. You there
It's
by
all good. I
yourself.
understand you tight.
Stay on the
But
banana
Boston
boat.
hey, let's
Stay
talk
on the
Celtics
banana
Bucks.
boat.
and the
Let's talk
Bucks.
Stay on the
Celtics
banana
Bucks.
boat.
All right, Celtics Bucks. All
Boston
right,
and the Bucks.
Celtics Bucks.
tight,
So
tight,
the
tight.
Celtics tied up the series last night. Al Horford went back in time to the
This is
Atlanta
my
Hawks.
favorite
Al
series.
Horford.
It's a very good
This
series.
is a very good series. Al Horford, I feel like he only missed like 3 shots yesterday.
Great
He was
cut.
on fire.
Bro.
He was like what?
Easy.
And then in the fourth quarter, then he went 6 for 6 in the fourth.
playoff
Al
out.
looked like he was 25 out there.
That's what
Al
I'm
was
saying.
eating.
He looked like Atlanta Hawk, Al Horford out there. And then when Giannis dunked it, and then he looked down at Al, he was like, okay. And then he got a little get back dunk, little old dunk thing. I don't even know how Giannis even let that happen, but he did. And then he was like, yeah. He's like, yeah. It was lit. I like it though. Like I really like it. And then Tatum finally showed up. You know what I'm saying? Finally, he acted like he finally showed up. You know, last night. So what's y'all predictions you think for the rest of this? Hold on. Who did everybody pick? Who did everybody had winning?
Celtics.
I forgot. I had Celtics.
I still have Celtics. You know,
I still have Celtics. I'm
What's
not
up with
gonna
Chris?
switch.
What's up? Is Chris coming back this series?
No,
or
Chris
what's
not
going on?
coming back this series. That's the reason why. That's the reason why I went with the Bucks in the first place because Middleton wasn't playing all series.
You mean Celtics?
Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay,
why.
okay,
My bad.
okay.
My bad. But that's the reason why.
Hold
I
on.
feel strongly
Who?
about
Wait a
that.
minute. I missed that, Ivan. Who? Why'd you pick the Celtics?
I'm not
Who's
repeating
not playing?
myself. Anyway, I'm
Who's
not
not
repeating
playing?
myself.
Who did he say
I'm
wasn't
not-
playing? I missed that.
Who's not playing for who?
Who's not playing for the Bucks? Middleton.
Anyway.
Oh, Middleton.
No,
Yeah.
Oh,
PJ.
Middleton.
Anyway.
PJ
Yeah.
Tucker not playing the ball. He don't play for
Hey
the
man,
Bucks
that's
anymore.
60.
All I'm saying is if Middleton was playing,
Don't
if Middleton was
keep
playing, you picked the Bucks confidently. That's all I'm saying.
No, I don't know if I confidently pick
See,
him. I don't know.
See, I'm not
I feel like
confidently
it's
pick him.
like
I'll just pick. Look, first of all, Juan, don't get him on my nerves, okay? Don't get him on my nerves, all right? He's still
Alright.
phony. I don't care if he is a champion. He's phony.
If they had
He's
Middleton
still
right,
phony.
who? Middleton? Stop.
I mean, I said he was a champion.
You'd
He's
say
a
Bucks and
champion.
you wouldn't think. You'd say Bucks and you wouldn't think twice if Middleton.
Oh,
was there.
so you give him Chris Middleton credit as a champion, but you don't give.
But you don't give some.
I said they were champions. I said they were champions.
Oh,
I
but you
said they
value
were
his
champions.
championship. You value his championship experience now. Interesting. Interesting.
No, but hey.
They're the current champions.
I got a question
They're
for you.
literally the current
What has he
champions.
done
Yeah.
since the championship?
Look. Everybody stop for 1
Did-
second.
did-
Really listen. Hold up.
Did
hold up,
Toronto
hold up,
even
hold
go
up,
to the
hold up.
playoffs after they won the following year? I don't think they did.
Just had the ball at the free throw line and couldn't even pass the ball successfully. It's probably
Bree,
injured.
remember Bree, we supposed to
Sorry.
move on. Bree,
Yeah,
supposed to move on.
It's
We're
a
supposed
clear
to move
pass.
on.
He didn't even have to stare at it for 10 minutes.
I got a
These are the
question.
things that I feel like it's just,
Bree,
that's
Easy for Jokic.
that's the
Bree, stop it. Stop, Bree.
easy.
I know what you're doing.
Easy peasy.
We're supposed to move
Easy
on.
peasy.
We're supposed to move
Okay.
on. Boston, go ahead,
Sorry.
Vaughn.
I got a
Boston,
question.
go
Does the
ahead.
winner of this series win the
I think
finals?
More.
Win the finals or go
Does
to
the
the
winner
finals?
of this series win the finals?
No.
Who wins the finals then?
I can't renege on my
Where
pick.
I'm at right now.
I can't renege on my pick.
I'm at right now. I'm saying the winner of this series wins the finals. That's where I'm at right now.
I can confidently. I will
Yeah.
say. I don't know because I really like Miami. I do. Whatever.
I'll say I will say the winner
What?
the winner of this series. No, the winner of this series is going to the finals in my opinion because Miami, even though
if you were to say that,
Because-
I would be able to. I could
because Miami, because even the games Miami's won in this series, to me they haven't really looked super impressive to me. Like especially from outside shooting three, they haven't looked impressive at all.
Let's go
Like,
back
they
in
don't-
time, and when everybody was saying who they expected would come out of the East, besides maybe Boston or Milwaukee, who picked Miami?
Shane.
I don't like Miami. I'm not saying I like Miami. I
Who's
still like
picking Miami? Who's picking Miami?
No, I just said
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Miami would come out of the East. I said that before the playoffs started.
You wouldn't be surprised, or did you pick them?
No, I said I wouldn't be surprised because
that's different than picking.
That's different than picking for. What you bragging for?
Oh, wait, guys. Oh, look, I'm Shane. I'm Shane. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm Shane. I wouldn't be surprised if the 1 seed got out the East.
Bye, Shane.
I want credit for not really saying.
I want credit. I want credit for bringing up that they could possibly make it.
For the finals, I'll be picking the Heat to make the finals.
You want a cookie for possibly picking the 1 seed?
Yes, he does. Absolutely, he does.
Unbelievable, Shane. You're better than that.
Shane,
you're better than that. You're better than that.
Flat out said, I said if Ben Simmons does not play, then I would pick the Heat to make the finals.
So you're picking the 1 seed.
So you're picking the Heat.
But who was the favorite in the?
Are you picking them or not? Like you said,
Are you picking the Heat?
Pick them. The favorite.
Did you pick them?
Huh?
Oh my God!
Did you pick the Heat?
Are you picking the Heat?
I wasn't picking them. I said the Heat would.
You're looking for credit, but you didn't even pick them.
Oh my God!
Whatever.
You didn't even pick. I wouldn't be surprised either. The hell? What you mean?
Shane, are you picking the Heat to go? Yes,
raise your hand if you'd be surprised if they went there. Nobody would be surprised.
The Celtics play in the East. The Bucks play in the East. The Hawks play in the East. I mean,
my Lord.
Yeah, but that's different than being like I wouldn't be surprised if Miami.
Nobody else is picking the Heat.
But that's different than not being surprised, though, Shane. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they won.
I'm just saying, if Miami made the finals, I don't think anyone would be super shocked by that.
I wouldn't be shocked. They just went 2 years ago.
They definitely did.
They're an NBA team. Somebody's like.
Yeah, I'm not going to be shocked.
It's an NBA team that made it. Like it's not shocking. It's not an MLB team that made it to the playoffs, the NBA playoffs.
If the Grizzlies get there, I'd be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if the Heat got there.
If the Nuggets went to the finals, I'd have been shocked for sure.
Yeah, but
or like
Wizards.
Who else lost?
Listen,
that's never gonna happen.
How do we have this series ending though? How do we
can't
have this?
fathom that.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Celtics. I'm gonna say Celtics.
I can't predict. So I'll say Celtics in 7.
In 6.
Celtics in 7.
I was gonna say 7 until I haven't said that, so I don't want to really agree with that at all.
Is it 2-2?
It's 2-2. Yeah.
Why does it matter? We picked the same team.
Yeah, but we're not really agreeing.
And next game is in where? Boston.
I don't care.
Is it Milwaukee?
It's in Boston next game.
Boston, that's home field.
Home field.
I might pick Boston.
Which is home court.
Boston is 7.
That's why I say Boston is 7.
I think Boston is 7. I think Boston. Is 7. I think they'll get back to TD Garden. I think they'll get back to TD Garden.
Me and Bree. What you got, Bree?
They'll get back.
Well, I'm not. This is not going to be a circle jerk. Now I'm going to say Bucks in 7. Like,
okay.
Nah. They'll get back to TD Garden. They'll eat, and then they'll get back to Milwaukee, Harley Davidson Arena, whatever it's called. Giannis will do Giannis's things, but I feel like Game 7 in there will have a good game plan to just shut that out.
But I'm going to be sick because I don't want the Celtics to go to the finals.
One game and one game only. I'm giving Ime a good game plan to shut that down for just to be.
I mean, all Giannis does is just run people over. That's it, really.
I mean, that's his game, though. But at the same time, you got to stop it. So
develop a move.
He's the best player in basketball. He's the best player in basketball right now.
At this point,
he's the best player in basketball.
Him just running people over and just running up and down the court. I can't.
To me, that's what immediately disqualified Giannis from
he's
the
the most
MVP
dominant
conversation
player in
for
the
me.
league. He's not the best player in the league.
He's dominant. He's tough. He's strong. But that's what took him out of the conversation to me because that's guardable. That's guardable. No reason on earth.
Y'all let him get to the best league on earth, and then y'all will say he don't got to move. Like he's
the best player in the league.
I understand it.
Develop something else. You did that last season.
Now, Bree.
Who's the best? Who's better than Giannis right now? Right now.
You're on a scouting report to take a charge. How many charges is he going to pick up all damn season?
Bree, I understand what you're saying.
I
understand what you're saying. At this point, this man's one of the best players ever. I'm not going to keep saying this man just be running up and down.
He's the best player in the league. He is right now.
He's the most dominant player in the league.
He's the most dominant player. He needs a jump shot. You need a pull-up jump shot, Giannis. You're welcome.
So when Shaq, I mean, granted, Shaq has more moves to the post than Giannis, but Shaq didn't have a jump shot Wasn't he the best player in basketball?
We're not doing this right now. We're not.
Was he not? Was he not?
We are not about to
Was he
do
not?
that.
We're not doing
That could be averaging 50 right now in this
15
NBA.
minutes. We have 15 minutes.
We are not doing
I
this.
said they're not the
No,
same
we're not.
player,
We are
but
not.
Shaq
Yeah.
was dominant.
Yeah, come on.
Shaq
Take us out of there.
Shaq didn't have a jumper.
Did everybody
Did he
make
have a
their
jumper?
picks?
Was Shaq pulled up jumper?
Did everybody make their
What's
picks?
your picks, Bree? What's your pick? Who finished in the series?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Giannis
Bucks
is the best
7.
player in basketball.
What you got, Rio?
Circle judge.
What you got, Rio?
I had a Bucks and 7. I'm not going
Thank
against
you.
Giannis until they get knocked off.
Period. Returning champs. We got this.
He's a
Middleton
king
or
of
not.
Africa, man. I'm not.
So
down in this
you're
league.
gonna depend on
If
the
he actually gets knocked off.
and
I'm not
Grayson
knocking
Allen?
him down. I'm betting on Giannis, and I'm betting on Bobby Portis, and I'm betting on him being
But
and Drew
I-
Holiday, and him
Covington?
really galvanizing getting these guys. I mean, they're shooters, man. They're going to play up to what his play is. So
Okay.
I got faith in Yanni, and Yanni's not going to come around to slouch. He out there.
No.
like a dog.
I was waiting for Yanni.
Hey, I have faith in
You know?
Yanni. I don't.
I was
don't
waiting
have
for
much
Yanni.
faith in everybody else.
You know, it was coming.
That's the precaution. I have faith in Giannis for sure. I'm just talking about the rest of the people.
Who'd you pick?
Oh no,
Brooke Lopez.
they go off of him.
Shane, who did you pick?
Huh?
Who'd you pick?
In
that series.
Celtics. Celtics. I got
In
Celtics.
what? 7, 6?
7.
Okay, so I'm the only one who thinks it's gonna end in 6. That's cool. I like it.
You want a cookie?
I mean, no, I don't like cookies like that.
I'm not even the pick of this. Who
Who
cares?
Who do you like?
For chips.
Who cares?
You always got to have a Braun game 6
Over
in
cookies?
Boston for them to win that.
Yeah, I'd rather
Frosty
chips
over
over
sweet?
cookies for sure. Chips over cookies for sure.
Me?
All right, do you want a bag of Fritos? Good. Okay.
No, not
Okay,
Fritos.
Fritos.
I'd rather Doritos, unless the Frito.
Nah. You deserve Fritos. The plain ones, not the barbecue.
Oh
crispy.
nah.
The plain one.
Oh no.
The corn chips. That's what Vaughn deserves.
Do
Yeah.
they even sell those anymore?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, of course.
So, how y'all feeling about this Warriors and the Grizzlies?
It's over. John,
Why are we?
We talked about that already.
I was just saying there's nothing to talk about with this
It's
one.
over.
There's nothing to
Nah,
talk about.
John-
It's over.
Y'all are asleep, man. I heard what y'all said. Y'all are asleep on Giant, man. I told y'all. I did say.
Rio, it's over. John's not playing anymore.
I realized that. However, this team is not a slouch team, and people keep talking about their IQ. I think they just had issues as far as communicating out of the road. When they go home, they're going to get coached up. They have a good coach. They have a good center, balancing Steven Adams and great center. Jared Jackson is balling phenomenal. Dylan Brooks is being Dylan Brooks. I think what happens really is Dylan Brooks needs to be more offensively aggressive.
No, he
I
doesn't.
think that obviously Bane is doing what he can do.
Who the hell he does not.
Brooks has to be more offensively aggressive, and he has to actually pick his spots and hit. So
Did you watch the game last night?
Bane is getting strapped. Bane is getting strapped.
19. He does not need to be more.
I think Bane is not healthy. That's why I said that
Bane
Bane is not healthy. I can see it, bro. That's
Yeah,
why I
he's
said
not- he's
Brooks
not
has to be more aggressive.
He needs to be less aggressive. If you watched last night,
No, he needs to keep that intensity because their best bet is to get to the
he
line
coulda-
or foul
he
one of
could
those
have had an
guys
off
out.
game.
And if it
He
ends
coulda
up
had an
being a
off night.
Draymond
That's
Green
very
getting
true.
fouled out,
He
that
could have
helps.
had an off night, Vaughn. He could have had an off night.
Help. No, he does not. But at the
He
same
could have had an
time-
off night.
At the same time, all that's cool, and I respect what you're saying, and what that makes them dynamic. But
I said defensively, they're a better team without
there's
Ja.
nothing to talk about. What are we talking about?
They're going to win the series.
Talking about Vaughn.
Golden State's winning the series, though.
They got to go back to Memphis though to get one. I think they can get one at home. I don't know what can happen for Ja, but they can get one at home.
Ja's done. The Grizzlies are done.
I mean, they're not going to win the series.
All right, let's get on to the
They're
real.
not going to win another
Hey,
game.
they could have snuck one. They could have snuck the last game.
But they
messed up
didn't.
towards
But
the
they
last few
didn't. But
seconds.
they
They're not
But
going
it
to
is
win
what it
another
is.
game.
But they're not going to win. They're not going to win.
No,
I don't think so. It's over. It's over.
So Phoenix,
It's over.
Phoenix and Dallas. How we feel about this? Like
Phoenix in 7.
Phoenix and 7.
Yes.
How we feeling about this? Like anything there?
I think Phoenix in 7.
Phoenix and
I
6,
think
man.
it's-
Stop playing around with these boys, man. Just put them away.
I got the Mavs.
I told y'all, and I told y'all
Luka's
before it
giving
started.
them fits. I think them playing a 6'8" strong point guard is really difficult for them, man. Like
I can see it happening.
I mean, they got great defenders. Don't get me wrong, but Luka's not the same type of player. He'll kill you offensively. He'll kill you defensively. He'll shoot from half court.
Did you just say Luka's playing two-way basketball? Did you just say
I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
I don't think
You said he'll
Run
kill
it
you
back.
offensively.
I didn't say that. I said he's killing them.
He said he'll kill you offensively and defensively.
I think he means he's killing the Mavs
I didn't say
defensively.
defensively.
I think
I said
honestly,
he's killing them. I'm saying he's killing the Phoenix Suns defensively. He's killing them. Like what they're trying to do and what they do. Don't get me wrong. They're effective, but they're not stopping Luka. They're stopping their other teammates. As you pick your poison. But Luka is unstoppable, man. Luka's been phenomenal. Luka's unstoppable.
Luka's doing what we expect Luka to do. I think to me the biggest thing is his help is showing up.
It's Dinwiddie
that's the key.
And Jalen. Where's another 40 piece Jalen?
Bertrand's actually showed up. He actually showed up.
The thing is, though, the first 2 games, Brunson was in foul trouble. He wasn't in foul trouble with Dallas. So Brunson's going to show up regardless of if he plays. The X factor is Dorian Finney-Smith.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
If he can stay out of foul trouble, he can shoot and defend, and he needs to stay. He needs to stay in the game.
But he gave you a career game. I don't think you'll get that again.
And I think that's the difference. And not to mention Chris Paul. Chris Paul was struggling the last 2 games, so that helped him out a lot too. I don't think that's going to continue though.
Right now,
they're going back to the crib, man.
I don't either.
I don't think that's continuing. I don't think that's continuing.
They might blow the Mavericks out tomorrow. They going back to the crib. They might blow them boys.
Honestly, off the strength. Honestly, off the strength of what happened with Chris Paul and his like, he's gonna be pissed.
They might blow them boys out tomorrow.
Better be something. He better not foul out again and be crying about it. That's all I know.
But this isn't a good series for the Mikal Bridges Defensive Player of the Year campaign. I will say that this wasn't not a good.
I mean, the campaign's over. The campaign's over.
I'm gonna keep preaching this. I'm gonna keep yelling this till I don't yell it no more. What did y'all think Luka was gonna do when he his first playoffs? He called out PG and Kawhi on switches. Said no, I want him.
Nigga, we know Luka's gonna cook. That ain't no shock.
I'm just saying, but you said Mikal was defensive.
Well, but like, he was even getting cooked by Brunson and Dinwiddie the last few games. Like,
yeah.
If you get cooked by Luka, Luka's an all-time great.
I was gonna say Luka. We already know what Luka's gonna do. Like we expect Luka to do.
When you're getting cooked by like Jalen Brunson and Dinwiddie, like nah, you can't be doing that if you're Mikal Bridges. You gotta lock them guys.
Okay, but Dinwiddie's still nice though.
Yeah, but if you're Mikal Bridges, you have to lock him.
Yeah,
come on, you gotta lock up Dinwiddie.
If you're Mikal Bridges,
you gotta lock up Dinwiddie.
You lock Dinwiddie up, bro.
I'm not saying he's a scrub. I'm not saying he's a scrub, but he still got to play good defense on him.
This guy was 20 points a game in a season.
We know, Shane. We know, but he's coming off the bench.
Lock him
he's
up.
coming off the bench. Shane.
Mikal
he's not even a starter.
Tasked with playing LeBron James and like Steph Curry.
He's one of the best defenders in the league.
Yeah,
you're supposed to be locking guys.
Shane, he was number 2. He was number 2 in voting in Defensive Player of the Year.
Why are you Defensive Player of the Year candidate if you can't lock up somebody who's not an all-star?
He's not even. He doesn't even start. We're crying out loud. He don't start.
To me, Shane, it's the same thing I was saying about Tobias Harris in the last argument. You used to facing like top tier defenders, so when you get the bum defender on you, you should really eat. And so Mikal Bridges, you get Spencer Dinwiddie, you guarding him. That should be like an off quarter for you. Like,
exactly.
Easy this quarter. Like, I'm about to give me a couple steals, you know.
And the thing I'm liking too, you can tell Luka is really trusting his guys to do their part. You can see the chemistry there because with him and Porzingis, I don't care. I still think him and Porzingis was a heck of a duo. I still think they could have been a good duo. But Porzingis want to be a chump and want to be the star of the show. Not going to be the star of the show. But that's neither here nor there. But you can tell Luka, they really have good chemistry with him. He's on a good team where he knows he's the guy, but he's also trusting Brunson and McPhinney and all those other guys, which is the key.
When they're winning, it looks like they have good chemistry, but a lot of times I feel like they
this. Where was Aiden last game?
Who?
It happens.
It happens.
It happens.
I mean, he's not really an offensive guy, but they're putting more in his hands to do that, just to kind of force the growth, and they need him to develop that way. It's just that he didn't have a great game. But I think he's developing as we watch him play.
I would like Aiden to make a call to Shaq in the offseason. That'll be
Aiden. I don't know about Shaq. Maybe I would love to see him turn into more of like a Chris Webber. I think he needs to expand his skills if he wants to play long term.
Well, my point is he needs to add something to his tool belt this offseason.
I think he's fine. He's progressing.
Aiden.
I like Aiden.
Has all that. He just don't. It's just not his time in the league.
Yeah, he's still young. He's
David Robinson, man.
How many times do he need?
What are we trying to say?
His time in the league. So you're not going to get a team that's going to slow the game down too much unless you have a Joel Embiid. or something like that. Like,
what are you trying to say right now, Ivan?
Like he's not sorry.
I mean, who said he's sorry? I'm saying he can't add something to his
he can't add something to his bag.
What's wrong with that?
No, he said how much time does he
What's
have?
wrong with that?
He's 23.
I'm just saying,
and he can't add something to his
I'm saying he has time because he's 23. I was like, how much time is it? He's 23.
No, but you acting like you've been in the league for 2 years.
No, but you can at 23, he has at least another 10, 12, 13, 14. He has time to add to his bag.
So he needs 10 years to add to his bag?
No, he's 23.
10 years?
He's 23.
It takes 10 years?
I think if you want to make a serious playoff run and a push to the finals, he should have been doing that last season, right after last season. I think he should have went immediately into any training session.
What's wrong with that?
He has one subpar game.
I think he is improved. No.
I mean, even last year, who's slandering Ayton?
I think he has improved.
He's a good player.
I think.
Did I say Ayton was a bum? Did I say he sucked? No.
I think personally,
what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that.
I would have tried to add just a little bit of slack to my bag.
A lot of great players have added stuff to the tool belt. Giannis added stuff to his tool belt.
I think it's this.
And I've been very lucky to play with Chris
Paul. I think it's a lot of heart.
23.
I don't think it's his game. I don't think it's his game. I think it's really his heart.
He's a baby.
Okay. I see what you're saying, but I'm just saying he could add that. I said this offseason.
Hey, bro, if you want to see Devin Booker, bro, you gotta get it where you fit in.
Don't have time.
You know, I
don't want you to get any better.
Most players don't even reach their prime till 27. He has 20. He has like 4 more years before he's even probably at peak Ayton. Like he's still a baby.
I think he's fine. I think his game's cool.
He's fine.
I think he just need to.
So all right, so he don't need to change nothing. He can just stay the same.
No, he needs to change, but he's fine. He's fine. He's 23. He's gonna add it. He's fine. If he was like 28, 29, okay, but he has all the time in the world. He's a baby.
Okay, we'll see. He can have an injury next game, and then that can go out the window.
Okay, anybody can have an injury next game.
But you said he has all the time in the world
in another game.
He has all the time in the world.
Even if he has an injury, they're still going to be expecting for him to go out and perform. Nobody cares.
No. We're not letting Ivan get away with that. Anybody can get hurt. Like that was. Don't say anything to me like that.
I'm not. Yeah, like I said, you're saying he has all the time in the world. I mean,
he does have like Ivan. Literally, nobody has all the time in the world. If you want to go there, like, come on. Giannis could break his neck.
I'm just saying.
Ivan, I don't think so because something could happen and Chris Paul could not come back, and maybe they're not a playoff contending team anymore if Chris Paul doesn't come back for another year.
We could all die today. That's possible. I might,
Okay,
Ayton might sign with another team.
That's what I've been saying.
Might sign with another team after this. Remember, he's in the contract negotiation.
I'm just saying. Okay, so I guess you're too young to add something to your tool belt. You're just too young for it.
No, I'm saying that
you can't.
He has time.
So, that don't mean nothing. He can still add something. I don't care if he's 18. You can still add something.
So he didn't add anything. You don't think he added anything to his game from last year?
He shoots the 3 more now.
Every year you add something, and he has time to add something. Is what I'm saying.
He doesn't shoot it well.
All I said was he should work on some of this offseason.
I don't think all the time in the world.
I never disagree with that.
I understand that, but like
you did. You said he has all the time in the world.
When did I say he didn't work on his game? When did I say that?
When you started jumping on Ivan's back for freaking telling you he should work on his game a little bit more.
I said he was 23 and he has time. Because Ivan was like, he doesn't have all the time. He's 23. What do you mean?
No, that was after the fact. My main fact was I think he should add something in the beginning.
What would you really have at this moment? Like I feel like the point of this is that I think Ayton, you would see a lot more Ayton's game if a lot more of the offense got funneled through him. I feel like enough of the offense don't get funneled through him. They're a shooting team. That's why I feel like that's why I said it's not his time in the league. I feel like if he was on another team, he would be the central focus in offense, and he'll be good for like 24, 25 a night.
I agree.
With 12 rebounds. I don't think there's anything wrong with his game besides like him playing with heart and aggression. I feel like he has a very for the team he plays on. I feel like he plays his role very well. The only thing he's missing from his role is just playing with more aggression and heart. I feel like he gets disengaged in the game sometimes where he's not getting the rock like he feels he's supposed to because he was the number 1 pick. And I feel like that's just the problem with his game. That's why you see him get lost a lot of times. He be lost in the sauce because he just feel like he's.
Do you think it's a reason why he don't get the rock like he wants to?
Yeah, he plays with Chris Paul and Devin Booker.
Chris Paul, Devin Booker, then an open 3-point shooter. And then
all right. So who's the third option on the Suns?
I mean, you could say it's DeAndre Ayton, but it's the open. It's going to be.
I don't think it's DeAndre Ayton.
Who's our second option?
I said the third option.
I think Jay Crowder is more of a third option.
I said the third option.
I feel like
at least Jay Crowder, he
the third option gets split up between.
He gets
Bridges
one-on-ones and
and
ISOs.
Johnson.
I've never seen. I don't see.
The first
Ayton
option is
getting
Devin
a lot of
Booker. The
ISOs
second
at all.
option is the best shot.
Yeah.
If it's not Ayton, because their
Yeah.
offense is just like free flowing. They can get whatever
Exactly.
they want.
That's what I mean. Like that's if he was in a place where he was like he's getting the ball, he's getting the touch every possession.
Yeah. And if Chris Paul's feeling himself, Chris Paul's the first option. To be honest,
I'm just saying.
No,
it's
Devin's
not a knock
always
on
the
Ayton.
first
It's just
option,
that Devin
man.
Booker is that dude, and Chris Paul is that dude, and their offense. Is
I know
that
I know that, but you could argue that he's not even the third option on the team.
I wouldn't argue that.
You could.
I mean, we just did. We just said every shooter and whatever the best shot is always
We
the
could
third option.
literally
So
sit
he's
here
kind
and
of a
argue
force.
anything. Obviously, if that's
He'll
not
get his
the
catches
case,
here
you
and
guys
there,
just
bro.
argue at the
Most
same
of the time,
fact that the boy
they're
could
probably
work out.
telling him he got to worry about boxing out and rebounding, getting offensive boards, and then getting back on defense.
His
If he's
ISOs
not-
come from offensive rebounds or
Yeah,
defensive
like-
rebounds. Like that's what they come from. He don't get many ISOs.
I personally feel like they should have more of a pick and roll game, especially with Chris Paul with him. I feel like that would expound on him more. But like I said, it's just what it is. Like they got it's Devin Booker's team. Like
I actually
y'all
like
are
they
all
don't play
saying
that way.
Mavs?
Everywhere else in the league, they play that, man. Everything's pick and roll now. It's
I'm
always high pick
saying
and roll.
Mavs in 7, but
I
you
kind
already
of like they doing something different.
Were y'all all saying Mavs?
I'm saying Mavs in
No,
7.
I said Suns.
Man,
Yeah, I said the Mavs. I got faith in Luka, man.
To the Mavs.
Kid Dynamite.
I said
Kid
Suns.
Dynamite. I'm going with Kid.
Were you
We
on the
all
Mavs
agree.
too?
I said the Mavs. But
How
now
many?
all you
7?
guys are picking the Mavs. I don't want to pick them anymore.
Who picked the Mavs? I picked the Suns. I picked the Suns.
I don't like
I'll
agreeing.
pick the
I
Suns.
don't like agreeing with Ivan.
Don't-
I haven't
Good,
picked the
don't-
Suns.
I don't like it. I don't
How
like
my picks be Suns? My picks be right.
No, I
A
said
good
I haven't
portion of
picking the Suns. He said he don't like agreeing with I.
Yeah, I don't like agreeing with Ivan too much.
All right, well, good. Don't ever agree with me then.
No, it's too late. Okay.
The Eagles are all right. The Eagles are a good team.
Thank you. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
Oh, now you want to agree. Oh, now you want to agree. Oh, now you
Thank you
want to
so
agree.
much.
Because we
Oh,
know
now
you
you
don't
wanna
mean
agree.
it.
Thank you.
No, they do got good. They got good roster now. So I can agree to that. Jalen Hurts is gonna be the key though.
with
But
the
go ahead.
Mystics.
We're not talking about this
Well, no,
hour
I'm not-
right now.
I literally just
I'm not
asked you.
talking about
I just asked you about them bum ass Mystics.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm not talking about football no more. We're done.
What the-
Go ahead, Bree.
Are-
Go ahead, Bree. Cook.
About 3-0 Mystics that just took out the top ranked team, Vegas. Is that what
3
you're
and
talking
0.
about?
It's 3 games. Relax. Relax.
You relax. What are Mercury doing?
Relax. Huh?
What? Huh?
Huh?
Huh? You didn't hear me?
Look, the season just started.
Huh?
We started off. We had a little rough patch
We're
last year.
starting
till we
off
were in the
number
finals.
1. It's just what it is. We're just starting off number 1.
We'll see.
No biggie.
We'll see.
We're
We'll
just
see.
starting-
We
we're
don't
starting
have
off
our
number one.
have our heart and soul.
We're just starting off number 1. Yeah.
We don't
One.
have our
I mean,
hopes.
we playing every other game. One with Delhi, one without it. Come,
Look,
don't,
it's
don't
been
do
3
this.
games.
Don't
We don't
do
have our
this.
heart and soul. Okay.
Don't do this.
We
It's
don't.
been 3 games and everybody looks scary except you guys.
There's something on our
Yeah,
mind
we're
right
seeing the
now. We don't
call.
have Brittany Griner, so
It's
we're
something on all of our minds. Seattle, shout out to Seattle for putting something on the floor. I'm sad that I don't see anything on our floor. I like
Yeah,
that.
this should be on everybody's damn floor.
Okay, well, calm down. We're making
No.
statements. Tasha's not. We're
No.
doing stuff. We're all doing stuff.
I need it on all 12 floors.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll be
you
honest with you.
donated
I'm a
to
little
it.
bit perturbed by that, man. I felt
We
like at one
previewed.
point it was important for us to keep it quiet because they told us not to talk about it, to not make her a pawn for the war and stuff like that. But now it's kind of just like, is she being forgotten? Because they're doing negotiations. They've released some prisoners in Russia, but they haven't released her. So, like, should we? I think at this point we probably should be talking about it more. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like
we
the
are-
original point was to keep it quiet, and it's not working. We should.
Well,
I don't want
nobody's quiet
nobody to
anymore,
forget
though.
about her. I don't want nobody to forget
quiet.
about
Everybody's saying stuff like WNBA. We are talking since it's been officially announced that she's been wrongfully detained. Everybody's speaking out.
her. But that wasn't. We didn't
going
know.
through-
We knew that. That wasn't like a.
I mean, we knew that.
It was just
but
terrible
I
to
guess
see
you
them
gotta
do
prove it.
that 2 months later. You know what I'm saying? Like you really needed 2 months to have that determination. Like,
I mean, Russia
yeah, man.
or
Like
the
come
U.S.
on.
government or anything with
Yeah.
the U.S. government,
The
but
timing was just too perfect.
they're
But
not
they always
treating
use
her
us as
correctly.
pawns. You know what I'm saying? Like they use us as pawns and stuff like that. What's that? Dave Chappelle on Killing Me Softly. He said they never negotiate with terrorists and hostage black people. He said, hello, I've got 5 black. Hello. He said they just hang up. They don't want no parts in that, bro. They not interested. They gonna leave her over there as long as they can. Man. It's sad, bro. We need Brittany Griner back. We need her back.
We do because
we need her back.
So I don't get. So in Russia, what is the charges for getting even caught with this stuff? Like, what is the actual? They're like,
the hell do we look like Russian lawyers? Do we look like Russian detainees? Like, what the hell?
I want to say, Ivan, how the hell are we supposed to know?
No, I wasn't.
5 minutes. We're not sitting here talking Russian legal system.
No, I'm not. I wasn't
corrupt.
asking like literally like y'all do. It was just I was just talking out loud about like it's just weird.
Well, don't
That's
Ivan
all
think first. Just think.
How's that a bad? What's wrong? What's wrong with asking that?
Well, hey, whoa, hold on. I got
it.
Hey,
no,
Ivan,
I don't even want to know.
Ivan, I googled it. I got you. So the decree was reproduced in Article 224 of the Penal Codes of all the Republic of the USSR, and not only increased the penalties for the offenses mentioned above between 10 and 15 years imprisonment, but for the first time, criminalized possessions of drugs without intent to traffic may bring a penalty of up to and it cut off. Damn. Well, at least they said 10 to 15 years, man. That's still heavy.
Going to bed.
That's 10 to 15 years is heavy, man.
I mean, I think that's important.
Hey,
I think that's important to know.
Wait a minute.
I think that's important to know.
I'm upset because Kunane got cut. I know there were a lot of cuts, but I was really excited to look for her to play, and I was so pissed off.
Bro, they cut Crystal Dangerfield.
Up to 3 years in prison by minimum.
She was just the league's rookie of the year, and they cut Crystal Dangerfield.
They were reckless. There was ruthless ass cuts this year, which was really. I mean,
they're always.
I know. I'm just saying, like it's like because now that I'm like trying to pay more attention, it's
to get worse. You know, it's still players coming over from overseas in a couple weeks. It's going to get worse.
Yeah, I wanted to see Kunane.
Yeah, well, we look, man. She might get a hardship contract down the line. You know, play hard. She might get a. You know, we just bought in Shorty from Maryland. Dang, her name's slipping my mind, but she was the shit on Maryland like 2 years ago. But I was wondering what happened to her. We just bought her in on a small contract because Tasha's in health and safety protocols. So like, you know, she might slip in somewhere like that. Pause. You know, like off some offy shit like that. So it happens. It happens every now and then. Chicago got somebody on a hardship contract right now because somebody else is out for a couple of weeks. Somebody else is on the Lynx is sitting in a comfy spot that's not going to be there for a little bit because Nafisa Collar, she's about to come off a maternity leave.
Is a hardship contract kind of like a two-way contract that the NBA has? Is that kind of similar?
What was the two-way contract?
It's like you could play a certain amount of games in the G League and the NBA, but you can't pass I think you only play a certain amount of games in the NBA, but you play on the G. You're assigned to a G League.
The hardship contract is you hold a roster spot until one of the guaranteed roster people return. So if they're out on injury or something like that, they're just going. You just chilling here until she can get back, and then you got to go.
Interesting. So let me ask you this question again. I need an unbiased answer. Who do you have winning Rookie of the Year so far? I mean, not so far, but who do you think is going to win Rookie of the Year? Can you hear me? And I will say I like the way Destiny Henderson's playing. She's been poised so far. I've been checking her out. I like the way she's been playing so far.
She's very smooth, but I don't know about her for.
Oh no, not for rookie. No. She's not.
And the only reason I think not that because Kalia Copper is going to come back and she's not going to see as much floor time. Period. And Dana Evans is playing like a boss, so like she's going to be deep in rotation. You know who is going to continue to see the floor a lot is going to be my girl Austin. And she is playing like a boss. And you always be like, that's some bias stuff, but I'm dead serious. In our first 3 games, we are very successful. And she's getting a lot of touches on the ball. She's extremely raw on the offensive end, but like.
You're going to fight.
You not even watching the game.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just want somebody that's not a mystic.
All right, so look. Y'all know I wanted the girl from Baylor, but the only issue is they finally just won their first game. I don't see that. And then the other girl that's she's playing with Las Vegas, but Las Vegas starters are playing so dominant that's ridiculous. I don't even see her as coming on the court and making an impact. Like they're their first 5 in the game. Kelsey Plum, Chelsea Gray, Asia Wilson, all of them are playing so dominant. I forgot that she went to that team. I was like, oh, you're there. So a lot of rookies are looking like, oh, I forgot you played with them already. Like just that fast. I'm losing you on the court. I'm not losing Austin. And that's not even because like I'm biased. Like she's just making herself, her presence be felt. You watch a game and you tell me any different, then I'll listen to you. But that's just not the case.
Yeah, I ain't mad at you. I just asked you for a non-biased answer. And then
well, we're in first place, so I got to go with who's winning and who's being successful. So
I can't stand you. I just hope you know that. We're
winning. We made a great decision, guys. I was really upset about it at first on draft night, but this is actually
What's okay?
Healthy.
It's okay. It's all good. So y'all are winning enough to go to the WNBA finals. You feel that good? Y'all gonna win y'all gonna win it all?
Bro, if we stay healthy, man, come on, chill out. We gotta stay healthy. That's all I'm focused on right now.
If y'all stay healthy, then what?
We gotta take this a week at a time. Then who gonna stop us?
So you're gonna we're on record now.
Who are we talking about?
We get Brittany back. We're gonna stop you.
Who are we talking about? There's only one team I'm ever worried about, and it's the Storm. And I'm not worried about them.
We get Brittany back.
Looks great.
I like the size and the height they got in LA, man. I think picking up Liz Cambridge on a minimum contract was a good
Candace
look.
made Liz look like a dummy out there.
That's saying.
Did you say the Sparks? The Sparks are going to all the way, Rio?
I said they're a good look. You know, they got a lot of height on the floor at one time, man. That's a hard to overcome, especially in the WNBA. Like height is really a huge deal in this. So, you know, in the NBA now, it's like everyone's a super crazy athlete, you know. So it's kind of like
I just think the Mercury are in too slow motion. I don't know what you and Tina Charles and Diana Taurasi slow mo at. What y'all about to slow mo through? Yeah, that's how I feel. I don't know. Y'all. The only one accelerating out there is Sky. I'm gonna give it to her. You know, she looking great. She's hooping. She's balling.
We ain't gotta run the hoop. Well, it's early. I'm not.
I got them handles. I got them handles.
Sky balling. Oh my god.
We ain't gotta run the hoop.
Stop what y'all doing to watch Skylar play, y'all.
2 months later. It's early.
Look,
it's a short season.
It's early. It's a short season. It's a short season. Before you know it, 20 games just like that.
It'd be different if like 0-5. We lost one game.
Bree, what's shorty name from Kentucky?
What's y'all record?
Ryan Howard.
Yeah. I like her for rookie of the year.
Okay.
I like her for rookie of the year.
She's gonna make some noise.
I think she will. I think she's a player that can be inserted and she's gonna impact now. Like her game is built for it. Like she's a tall player. She has a great jump shot from the outside. What she was doing in college was like she was really out there grown folks in them like blocks on a fast break and all that. She was out there looking like Braun on a fast break. So I got a lot of love for her.
I do like her. her. You know, they beat South Carolina in the SEC championship.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder what her stats is.
Love for her. She doesn't even know you, Rio.
Well, dang. What's out?
And we will be at the Mercury and Mystics game too in June.
We're gonna be where?
We will be at the Mercury and Mystics game in June.
It's on.
We're going
live, y'all. He's buying our tickets.
We're gonna be there. We're gonna be there.
We're all going. Go.
I'm with it.
We should all go. We should buy tickets now. I'm
gonna find some Mercury gear one way or another.
I was just say, bro, just go online.
Order it now.
It's harder than you think, Ivan.
It's really hard.
It's not that easy.
It's hard
on
Amazon. I'm dead serious. Yeah, and then
go on Amazon.
For real, we ordered WNBA shirts through like the WNBA store one time, and then really never got it. And then we had to get something that's like somebody at the WNBA games like design stuff. Tasha Cloud posts them a lot, and that's how we ended up getting shirts.
It's harder than you think.
We did not get it through the WNBA store. Well, it was very difficult. It's not.
I'm just trying to find out.
I want to say when she posted it, I saw it on the internet, and they talked about like how hard it was, and like how hard it was for them to get for you to get WNBA NBA merch. One,
it's ridiculous.
And two, it's not that very good.
It's ridiculous.
Like, maybe 10 years ago, Drake like put a Skylar Diggins shirt up that he wore, and then like that joint sold out instantly, and then you couldn't get it for 3 years.
For years, we bought something.
Yeah, this is the issues that
we ordered something.
I mean, now that I think about it, like
never got it. Like
how they be doing with the WNBA and how and the resources and stuff like that. It don't surprise me now. Y'all saying this, it don't surprise me.
They don't make
What's killing me is that the one thing you know when you're a public figure is that you have to have merch. Like when you're a public figure, one of the biggest things you can have in your disposal is the merch you sell.
That could be so, and that could be an easy.
It's not. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. It's not. I'm not blaming them. I don't know how many.
No, it's not the players' fault.
Well, that's through the WNBA site.
No. I'm not blaming the WNBA either. Because if I want a jersey, I don't know how many people across the United States want a jersey, and you can't walk into your Nike store and buy a jersey, a WNBA keychain. You can't buy a WNBA bumper sticker. I'm not going to blame the WNBA when you're talking about regular sports merchandise stores, Dick's Sporting Goods, things like that will have a soccer jersey, a hockey jersey, this brand of jersey, your brand of jersey, Russell brand of jersey, and I can't walk out of here with a Mystics t-shirt
It's
in
not even
DC.
like,
Exactly.
In
You go to Walmart and
I
get
hate
an
to
old
say it,
Patriots
but
t-shirt.
honestly,
That is on
honestly-
the WNBA. They have to have a department that keeps track of those numbers. That way they can use it as leverage to say they're selling, and that way they can get it into stores. People aren't going to buy
Yeah, that is-
merchandise that's
that
not
is a good
actually
point.
selling. So if they don't have
That
the
is a good
numbers to
point.
support that they're actually selling, they're not
What
going
are
to
you
ask to be.
talking
Listen
about?
to
If
me.
I open
It's
up a
gonna sit on-
sports store,
and-
I'm not in charge of what I order. If I open up a sporting goods store right now, I'm talking about mom and pop shops. I'm talking about walking around Arundel Mills. You talking about if I go open my own store and open up as a vendor, I can't order Mystics keychains? Is that what you're saying?
So
If
you
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 No,
you
I think
No,
should
they're
be
not
able
in
to
charge
sell
of
it.
that. They're
I
not in
think they
charge
should
of
be
that.
able to.
Now
But
let's talk about
there has to be a market. People have to be
those I
demanding
Love
for them to
Maryland.
put it in their store.
Like people
So-
who have loved I
So
Love
I wonder
Maryland
if
shirts.
it's hard for
Why
us to
not?
get it. Could it be hard for stores like to get vendors to
No.
get the merch in there? Is it not hard
No,
for
you
the
Are
They
you
can
stores?
get-
guys
They
ordering?
can get almost anything they want. They just gotta figure out. They just gotta make it. They got like
We
a
can't
way
buy
to
what's not there
explain to like their DM why they need Mystic stuff all of a sudden versus when they never
because they
had
won
it.
a championship.
Mhm.
But I'm not.
30 years
No,
ago.
I'm just
Why they
saying.
need a
Yeah.
The
commissioner?
thing is, not
They
one
need
of
a
them,
commissioner.
not one of them went in
They
there
got a
and
commissioner.
probably offered that.
I mean,
Not one
they
of
need a
those
commissioner.
guys or one of those people in that position is watching the WNBA to think about something like that. It's not
Yeah.
even a thought.
Because honestly,
wasn't even a
if
thought.
Nike hit them up and be like, I want some WNBA gear, they'll get it.
I mean, Nike Georgetown.
Come on
you
now,
right
like you know what I'm
there,
saying? You know what I'm saying? Like
why
if them
wouldn't
big
you?
companies like Nike and Adidas, like they really wanted that gear, they could get it.
I did find
But I
a
mean,
Diana
also,
Taurasi
let's
jersey
not
on
get
a
this-
few websites though, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna see. I'm gonna see where this takes
I
me.
think they should I think they should let the players design some of the merch. I feel like that would go a long way, especially with the WNBA. And it like NBA made for women by women. You know what I mean? I feel like they did stuff like that. It would go off a lot better, and you make it like how like in like the NBA like fashion and streetwear and the NBA go hand in hand. Like like the WNBA need to take advantage of that and have these young girls that's on Instagram. and
So do you?
everything, these girls like get them to get
Gotta
some of
find
y'all.
that dude's ad
So
name and
so
tag
do the
him.
players wear different jerseys every game, right? They're not using like the same ones in Washington and stuff like that, right?
Even in the
I don't
NBA,
know.
they
We
don't
don't
know
know. We
for a
don't
few
know.
games.
Yeah,
I think we
in
know
the
that.
NBA do that.
Yeah, in the NBA and even in the NBA, they wear the same jersey for a few games.
If you see somebody throw a jersey in the stands, they have to pay like $150.
They got to pay for that. They got to pay
Yeah.
for jersey swaps and all that too. Yeah,
Yeah, I have heard. Yeah, I've heard that.
Which is
NFL.
crazy
I heard
to
that
me,
NFL.
You
All right,
got-
that-
Crazy that they don't make
no,
fresh jerseys every game. It's crazy.
They
though.
literally make a
Yeah.
if your jersey messes up, they can make one in the back room. So I don't
Yeah,
understand why you make it.
That is
They
that
have
is a good
extras
point.
on deck. Like
I'm like, if you're paying for flights and hotel stay and all this other stuff, you can't pay for jerseys, multiple jerseys, and especially
That's the crazy
and
part.
and especially in the NFL when it's only 16 games. That's
and there's
16
places
jerseys.
that just make jerseys.
Right. They got the money to do it. Get the heck out of here. Come on, bro.
Okay, guys,
That's
it's been freaking lit. Love you
Let's
guys.
at least buy their shoes. Let's buy the ladies' shoes. Let's start with that though. You know what I'm saying? Ladies got shoes out now. They got a lot of shoes out. Let's buy the kicks. That's what I was saying now. Just want to throw that.
Bree,
That's true.
What's up?
Go ahead.
I'm getting the Stewie Pumas. That's what I want.
nah,
Hey.
she shouldn't have never left Nike. I can't.
Anything Stewie. Right. It's Stewie, man.
Unfortunately, I can't get no
It's
Pumas.
Stewie, man.
Would you get a pair of LaMelos?
Or you know what else?
Yeah, only wears J's.
If not, of course, I've
No,
never
that's
thought
shame.
about balling. I've never thought about hooping in Converse, but Tasha Cloud makes me want to hoop in Converse.
You like
so I
I
might
said
get
the
a.
She has some Tasha
I know you did.
Yeah.
I couldn't resist.
So now
I
look.
couldn't resist.
So
I
now
want a pair.
Tasha Cloud got some Converse, right?
Tasha
Yeah.
Cobbs.
Cloud.
I don't know if they're hers, but
Shut
she gets
up.
Converse and she stay
Vaughn
with the
gotta go, yo. Vaughn, shut
All right,
up.
we're out of here. We're out of here, guys.
Shut
Love you
up.
guys.
This man said
Let's
Tasha
wrap this
Cobbs.
up.
Tasha Cobbs. Shut up.
Catch y'all next
Oh,
week.
man.
We out.